Welcome to the Clara Monroe Series by Mara Blackwood. You're listening to Echoes of the Past. Chapter 13. The File. Clara arrives before the rest of the floor again. The building smells like paper and yesterday's coffee. She doesn't go to her office. She goes to archives. The clerk recognizes her without greeting this time. Word travels. "I need internal referrals," Clara says. 5 years back, any documentation connected to Detective Martin Reyes and external counseling programs. The clerk hesitates. "That's administrative," he says. "Why?" "Because I'm asking," Clara replies evenly. He studies her face, decides not to press. It takes 40 minutes. Clara stands while the files are retrieved. When the box arrives, she carries it herself. Inside are referral memos. Most are routine. Victims of violent crime directed toward services. Families of homicide victims. Occasionally, officers referred quietly after difficult scenes. Then she finds it. 3 years ago. Typed memo. Referral. Monroe, Clara. Reason: occupational fatigue/recommended evaluation. Referring officer: Reyes. Monsieur Clara reads it twice. She does not remember this. She does not remember agreeing to it. She does not remember declining it. There is a follow-up note attached. Subject did not attend scheduled intake. Her jaw tightens. She never attended because she was never told. Halpern appears in the doorway of archives. "You disappear now," he says quietly. She hands him the memo. He reads it. His eyes sharpen. "Did you know about this?" he asks. "No." He looks at her carefully. "You sure?" "Yes." He studies her face for a long moment. Then, "That's not a small oversight." "No." Clara takes the memo back, folds it once, neatly, places it in her coat pocket. Back in her office, she pins 3 things to the board. Reyes's accident report, Evelyn's group referral, her own referral memo. The pattern is not loud. It is procedural, clean, legitimate. Reyes didn't threaten Evelyn. He directed her. He didn't confront Clara. He referred her. Paths, not force. Someone benefits from destabilizing Clara. Option 4, no longer theoretical. Halpern closes her door behind him. "You going to confront him?" he asks. "Yes." "Alone?" "No." But she doesn't call internal affairs. Not yet. Because accusation requires certainty, and she has only pattern. They find Reyes at home again. This time, he doesn't look surprised. He looks tired. "You're back," he says. Clara doesn't sit. She lays the memo on the kitchen table. "My referral," she says. Reyes glances at it, says nothing. "You recommended counseling for me," Clara continues evenly. 3 years ago. "You were running yourself into the ground," Reyes says. "It was concern." "You didn't tell me." "You wouldn't have listened." "That's not your decision," Clara replies. Silence. Halpern steps forward slightly. "You also referred Evelyn Ward," he says. Reyes's gaze flickers. "I refer people," he says. "It's part of the job." "You retired before Evelyn joined that group," Clara says. Reyes doesn't answer immediately. "She contacted me," he says finally. "How?" Clara asks. "She reached out after her brother died," Reyes says. "Years ago, I'd handled the accident. She remembered my name." Clara's voice remains steady. "And you referred her to Sato?" "Yes." "Recently?" she asks. "Yes." "Why?" Reyes exhales. "She said someone was telling her she remembered wrong, that she needed help." Clara holds his gaze. "Who told her that?" she asks. "I don't know." "You don't?" she presses. "No." Did you tell her she remembered wrong? Clara asks. Reyes's eyes flash briefly. I told her memory is complicated, he says. Clara leans slightly closer. Did you tell her the accident had only one vehicle? She asks. Yes. Did you tell her there was a second? She counters. No. Why? Because it didn't matter, Reyes says sharply. It mattered to her, Clara replies. Silence. Halpern watches the exchange carefully. Why did you contact her recently? Clara asks. I didn't, Reyes says. Clara studies him, the line of his mouth, the rhythm of his breathing. She's watched suspects long enough to recognize rehearsed answers. You didn't contact her after she withdrew $5,000? She asks. No. You didn't meet her near the bank? She asks. Reyes's eyes narrow. No. The denial comes clean. Clara believes him, which complicates everything. Back in the car, Halpern exhales sharply. You think he's telling the truth about the bank? Yes. You think he's lying about something else? Yes. What? Clara stares ahead. He's minimizing, she says. Minimizing what? His involvement. In the accident? In the aftermath? Halpern frowns. You think he's been curating the narrative for years? Yes. But that doesn't make him the hooded man. No. Halpern grips the steering wheel. So who benefits? Clara doesn't answer immediately, because the question is shifting. It's no longer just who benefits from destabilizing Clara. It's who benefits from destabilizing anyone connected to that night. That afternoon, Digital calls with an update on the ATM footage. They've enhanced the glass reflection. The hooded figure's face remains obscured, but something else becomes visible. A second reflection. Across the street, parked car, dark sedan, driver inside, watching. Clara feels the cold settle deeper. Two observers, one outside the glass, one across the street. Layered, intentional. The bank footage is time-stamped 3 weeks before the murder. The same sedan silhouette appears faintly. Halpern leans closer. That's the same car from the highway, he says. Yes. Same posture, he adds. Yes. One person applies pressure, another observes, or the same person moves between roles. Clara doesn't say it aloud, but the choreography feels deliberate. Someone stages, someone watches. Her phone vibrates. She almost ignores it. Almost. Unknown number. New. She opens it. A scanned document. Her own referral memo. The same one she pulled from archives this morning. Stamped, signed, legitimate. Text beneath, you were supposed to go. Clara's pulse remains steady. Another message follows. You would have remembered sooner. Her throat tightens once. She types carefully. Remember what? The response comes after a long pause. What he did after the crash. Clara sets the phone down. She doesn't breathe differently. She doesn't call Halpern back into the room. She simply looks at the board. Reyes, Evelyn, Caleb, the second car, 30 seconds after the crash. The traffic footage ended at 11:43. The crash was logged at 11:48. The second car remained at scene for 30 seconds, then left. What he did after the crash. She opens the accident report again. Reads the line. Driver ejected. She closes her eyes. Sees the road. The guardrail. The headlights of the second car illuminating wreckage. She sees a figure step out. Approach. Pause. Not to help. To look. To confirm. Then return to the car. Leave. Clara's eyes open. Her face remains composed, but inside, the fracture widens. If someone approached Caleb after impact, if someone chose not to intervene, if someone left him there, then the accident was not just neglect. It was witness, and someone has been trying to make her remember that for weeks. Her phone vibrates once more. Final message of the night. You weren't the only one who stayed inside. Clara stares at the words. Then slowly, deliberately, she turns her phone off. She stands in her dark office, the board lit only by streetlight filtering through blinds. She has spent her career believing she ran toward scenes, believing she did not hesitate. But that night, she had stayed in her room, watched from the window, seen the second headlights, and done nothing. The difference between observer and participant narrows, not melodramatically, not loudly, just enough. Clara reaches for her coat. The case has shifted again, not because of a message, because of a file, a sanctioned referral, a missed appointment, a path she never walked. If she had attended, if she had questioned, if she had pushed, would the second car have remained hidden? Would Evelyn still be alive? The questions do not explode. They settle, heavy, controlled. Clara leaves the precinct without turning the lights back on. Behind her, the board holds 3 timelines that now refuse to stay separate. And somewhere in the dark, someone is no longer asking if she remembers. They are waiting to see what she does once she does. That was Chapter 13 of Echoes of the Past, part of the Clara Monroe Series. If you're following the investigation, the next chapter continues right where this one leaves off. I'll see you there.